G'day Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. It's week 3 of our Canterbury-Bankstown Bulldogs Elite Pathways wrap, where we will go through the previous week's results from all the kids, from the ladies teams as well, and from those regional teams that we have established as direct pathways into the Bulldog system. We'll speak to Eddo again shortly. He'll go through his match of the round and name his man of the match. And he gives a little bit of education as well around those areas, and we'll go through and you'll see a couple of the players that have gone on to represent the Bulldogs that have come from those areas in the past. Some big names to be mentioned there. So getting straight to it, you can see in the results in the background, we were brought back down to earth by the Knights. Harold Matthews, SG Bull, and Harvey Norman Women's Premiership sides, they all went down to the Knights. We did get a win though with our Tasha Gale girls team. They did really well, beat the Knights, and that was a good win for them. There was a win also by the North Coast Bulldogs in the Andrew Johns Cup to keep their hopes alive. They defeated the Knights, but unfortunately the Northern Tigers went down to the Roosters. In the Laurie Daley Cup, we'll see a big preview of that match. Well, not a preview, but analysis of how that match went. That'll be Eddo's pick, where the Northern Tigers defeated the Roosters quite comprehensively on the scoreline, and we'll hear more about that. Unfortunately, the North Coast Bulldogs went down to the Knights in the Laurie Daley Cup, and their season looks to be over or hanging by a thread. But still, lots of green shoots, as they say, from these kids. Some really strong performers out there, and hopefully we'll see some of those kids make it through into our, feeds into our SG ball and that sort of thing after they complete school and the like. So, the trial, we went down in the trial to the Sharks, as everyone knows. Obviously a trial, bit of fun out there, and some good stuff, also some bad stuff as well, but that'll be for another episode to talk about. And the New South Wales Cup side, they were getting towed up. It was behind closed doors, but apparently Newtown got out to a massive lead, but the Dogs came home strong. The score you'll see was 42-32. All right, so we'll hand off to Eddo now, and he will go through his match of the round and give some education on that area, and you'll see some of the players that have come from that area. So there you go, Eddo.
Cheers, Michael. Thanks for having me back again. So we're going to go a bit more in depth this week with the Dogs Association with Laurie Daley Cup and the two teams that we've got affiliated with the Dogs in that competition, and also the Andrew Johns Cup competitions. And so we'll go a bit more in depth geographically, just to explain, exactly where these kids come from, and and understand that these kids come down and train with the academy and then go back, finish school, but they also get a chance to represent their areas with these clubs. And so we'll go a bit more in depth with North Coast and geographically where they're situated. We'll have some maps as well to show whereabouts they're situated in New South Wales, and so Dogs fans can get a better understanding. So Group 2 in North Coast is from Grafton in the north to Maxwell in the south. The junior clubs in those areas are Nambucca, Coffs Harbour, Bellingen, Maxville, Port Macquarie, Sawtell, which is where ex-Bulldogs player Jason Ouchin's from, and now he's up with the Toowoomba Western Clydesdales team. Also Macleay Valley, Grafton and Smithtown, which is where ex-Bulldog Aidan Tolman is from. And they've also got Group 3 in North Coast, which is from Kempsey in the north to Foster in the south. Clubs include Foster, Port City, Port Macquarie, Taree, which is where Latrell Mitchell's from, Warhope, Wingham, Old Bar, which is where ex-Bulldog Ben Harris is from, Gloucester, and Camden Haven. So we'll have some maps coming up. You probably can get a better understanding of where they're situated in New South Wales. And Greater Northern Tigers, which is made up of 3 groups. Group 4, which is northwest area of New South Wales, or Western New England. Teams and cities include North Tamworth, Gunnedah, Narrabri, Moree, Manila, Werris Creek. Group 19, which is the New England region. Clubs include Armidale, Glen Innes, Moree, Tinga, Warialda, Inverell, Narwan, and Bingara. And Group 21, which is the Upper Hunter region. This is where ex-Bulldog Jamie Feeney comes from, and he's done a lot of work with the Greater Northern Tigers. He's from Muswellbrook. Other teams include Scone, Aberdeen, Singleton. That's where Carrot Holland was from, and Denman. So this week we're going to delve into the round 3 game between the Northern Tigers and the Central Coast Roosters in the Laurie Daley Cup, which is the Sydney Roosters Laurie Daley Cup feeder side in their own pathways system. Both teams are currently at 1 loss and 1 win, and the game is being played at Morrie Breen Oval in Wyong, a Roosters home game. We'll run through the Tigers team. Fullback was Charlie Henderson. The 2 wingers, Keandre Johnson-Vale and Oscar Atkin. The 2 centres, Jackson Smith, Caleb Hope. 5'8", Jordan Hamlin. Halfback, Callum Dowell. 2 props, Lachlan Bennell, Zane Groves. Hooker, Jack Foley. 2 second rowers, Dylan Keane and John O'Leary Doyle. And the lock is Braden Allen. Interchange bench, Talon Harrington, Gabrielle Staffer, Brady Rosa, and Nathaniel Follington. The game was played in 30-degree heat and rising temperatures. The Roosters had the better of possession early on and went to a 4-0 lead after 9 minutes. The long kicking game of halves Hamlin and particularly Dowell for the Tigers gave them decent field position. A long cut-out pass on the line from 5'8" Hamlin to find centre Hope put him over. He converted his own try and the Tigers led 6-4 after 20 minutes. Dowell had a good touch finder, a Stafford try, and Hope extended the lead. The Tigers now led 12-4. Tigers were in a third try, came just prior to half-time, with a show and go from Talon Harrington out of dummy half. It was really nice work. Hope converted to lead the Tigers 18-4 at half-time. Early in the second half, centre Hope swept on an intercept about 30 metres out from the try line to score for his second, which he converted, and it became 24-4 to the Tigers. Not long after, Callum Dowell swivels through tiring online defence to put the Tigers further ahead, and it was now 30-4 after Hope extended with the conversion. Like last week, errors started to creep into the game due to the conditions. The next 15 minutes was mostly a mix of drop ball, a Chooks try, and some online defence by the Tigers until Hope got a third try after a forced error by the Roosters coming out of their own half, and it was now 34-8. Roosters crossed again, but it was more in vain than anything else, and the game slowly wound down our last 15 minutes, ending 34-12. My Eddos man of the match goes to centre Caleb Hope for a 22-point haul with 3 tries and 5 goals. He was always involved, had great awareness and solid backing up. Other notables were the 2 halves, Hamlin and Dowell, offering great kicks and busy work in the middle from forwards Bennell, Groves, Rosa and Foley. So you never know with these young Northern Tigers lads. If they do well and impress the Dogs they could end up being called down and doing, like joining the summer squads for SG Ball next season, like past Northern Tigers players in recent seasons, Luke Smith and Jack Todd have done. Luke Smith being mainly a lock forward, very high work rate, and Jack Todd can play a bit of middle and edge as well. Similar type, hard work ethic, really good players, and it's something definitely that these young Tigers players can aspire to.
Thanks for that, Eddo. Really comprehensive wrap of that game in the Laurie Daley Cup. Big win for the Northern Tigers, and they are definitely in with a chance of making the finals. As I said, it's probably curtains for the North Coast Bulldogs, but still an opportunity, a great opportunity for the remaining games to sort of put some wins on the board, and and if they can win their remaining games, they will do themselves every favour to get some of their players through to the system and hopefully into the SG Ball and that sort of stuff at the end of the year. So you see the ladder, the Northern Tigers on 2 wins now, puts them in a good spot with a few games to go. And the Laurie Daley Cup, the North Coast Bulldogs, also a chance of making the finals. Looking good in all the other grades as well. Harold Matthews, SG Ball, they're on their 2 wins each, with just the 1 loss, and same with the Tasha Gale, who are way up there on the ladder to start the season, which is fantastic for the girls, fantastic for the young kids. Brought back to earth this week, Newcastle getting the better of the Dogs in most of the games, but we'll be there fighting this week. And such a lot of talent in our side. I really think they're going to do well. And let's hope that's what we see. You'll see all the team lists coming up in the background. Continue to watch if you want to see what those team lists are. Pulled from the New South Wales Rugby League website. If you want to get any of the news, go check out the Elite Pathways on Facebook. Free to join, obviously. You can join become a member of that page and get all the information, post on it, that sort of stuff. You'll just have to answer a few questions about why you're interested in the pathways and that sort of thing. And it's a positive page that's all about the development of the kids and providing information. So there you go. That's the Elite Pathways wrap for week 3. 2 weeks out before we see Jersey Flag and New South Wales Cup, so there'll be a lot more to cover, and we're going to see a lot more, mans at the match and that sort of stuff, and games reviewed as the season goes on. There'll be a review of some of the girls' games as well. Eddo's going to try and get around to doing sort of a game in every sort of grade as we go along. And he attends some of the games as well. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's been good. Enjoying the weekly wrap and enjoying the feedback that we're getting. So thank you so much, and we'll continue to try and improve the quality of the content. And it should improve as we go on with our weekly wrap of the Elite Pathways. Cheers, guys, and thank you very much.